Okay, I'm good. I'm happy with
Oh my
this.
fucking god! Are you
What
kidding?
happened?
I just keep bumping into everything like I'm.
Oh, I told you. It's one of those days. You're bumping into shit. My camera mount fucked up last night, and you know what? I'm starting this. Welcome to the show. Today's episode is proudly sponsored by Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. More on them in a bit. Oh, good Tuesday morning, everyone. Welcome to your daily cup of genre.
Is it a good morning, Kyle?
No, it's not. Well, for them it might be. Hopefully,
Yeah,
for at least one person out there, maybe you're having a good Tuesday morning.
Mine's not all right. Too bad. I got up earlier, so I'm pretty happy. Plus tonight, midnight, new Loki, so that's fun.
Yeah. Well, once again, you left coasters out there have one advantage. The heat, though, for you kind of sucks in a lot of places out on that side of the country. I hope everyone out west is staying safe. And my birthplace of Tacoma, Washington. I was born on Fort Lewis, right? And that's up there. Tacoma's right next to Seattle for those that might not know their U.S. geography.
There's a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
Cool,
so it's like just south of Seattle and slightly to the west. Anyways, it was really, really, really hot, and a lot of housing in Tacoma and Seattle and stuff like that because it is the Pacific Northwest, and the average heat is only up in the mid to high 80s during. So there's a lot of places that don't do central air, and they're a lot like Europe or some Asian countries, or at least certain cities or towns in some Asian countries where window units, room units, the split units that I used to install when deployed. But I'm sorry, man. If my house is going to be over like 72 degrees, I need AC. Like my house should never reach over 73, which means if it can touch 72, then electronics and body heat are going to push that up a few more degrees. Nope. I need AC.
That's cute. Most people here keep their dials at like 78.
Yeah, I know. I've lived out there. My grandparents, when I used to visit them, like I said, I can never remember which one at which time because they lived in both when I was growing up, Madera and Modesto. And then my father grew up in those two, and Fresno, that whole valley, basically, that whole fucking stretch. So I know what it can be like, and I can because in the military housing, you don't old military housing, you didn't pay like an electricity bill. So I grew up never understanding why friends that lived off base or family didn't run the AC all summer long at like 70 degrees. And now I do the planned. It's only a 3-degree difference. In the summer it goes from 70 to 73, and in the winter it goes from 68 to 71, and that's it. Like, that's the most efficient way. Can it get uncomfortable sometimes? Yeah, sure. But in general, that's given us a unaffordable electricity bill.
Well, it works.
It does, man. You know what doesn't work? Talking about fucking electricity bills and HVAC on a fucking entertainment website.
It's Genreverse, man. We can talk about anything.
You know what? That is true. Think about home and garden channel and all the do it yourself stuff, the house flipping things like that. Think about all that stuff, and I bet you no one today under the age of maybe 30 32 knows who Bob Vila is. The guy that made that mainstream. And then look at Tim Allen and Home Improvement. That took the Bob Vila kind of, because that was a big thing there in the 90s. Vila's tool show and Home Improvement show was a big deal, and we don't have that anymore. Now it's all just flipping shows and dream home shows. Like, yeah, it's fun to watch and dream, but
I used to do demos at home and garden shows.
Really?
Yep.
For what?
Cooking demos.
Oh,
certain companies would hire me, and sometimes a group of other people, and we'd go do some demos.
Very cool.
Yeah,
go ahead.
It was always funny. People are like, "Oh my god, how did you do that?" It's actually or whatever. It was a lot of fun. I really kind of missed that a little bit. I also mentored some kids. And then specifically, so at one point, everybody paired up with the kid, and the kid I paired up with ended up at Disneyland.
Oh, that's cool.
Because, and I didn't. So,
the
prize was for the kid, right?
Yeah.
Whack.
I mean, you should get a little something out of it.
I didn't even get a pin or nothing, man.
Okay, yeah, that's
I just got the satisfaction of being able to send a kid to Disneyland, but doesn't, you know what?
I don't know. I don't know how much I'm gonna. No, I'm joking. It is cool.
So yesterday I got to watch The Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt.
Okay, how did that actually end up?
It was fucking long.
You didn't say bad. Okay. You just said long. So.
Well, the thing is, because it's almost 2 hours and 20 minutes long, and it felt like it could have been split into 2 movies, and you would have been happy with it. But the amount of plot holes in it, and questionable decisions, make it so that it's almost campy to the point where you're entertaining yourself with continuously questioning what's going on. Mm-hmm. But I feel like because it's Chris Pratt, we kept giving it a pass and just having fun with it instead of just being like, this is stupid.
I can see that.
So, and then like
you expect something,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not sure. It's all like the way it starts off. It was like, ha ha ha, this is Guardian. So like you keep making fun of it in the sense that, oh, this is this other movie now. Oh, this is actually this other movie now. Oh, okay. But it is so long, but you don't feel it because you're having fun with it. Mm-hmm. And as a mess as it was, I still find myself awkwardly going to recommend it to people just because it was fun for that reason. Like if you're into films. It's almost a comedy, because of the fact of everything that goes on throughout the film, is because it's so long, and some of the designs though of the aliens and things like that are really really cool, and then they decided to use some interesting practical effects, which I don't understand why they needed to do that, but whatever, And then there's also some moments where some very, very good character moments that come out of nowhere. And it's a fun mess. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I would rather it was a complete film for, there was no like necessarily that's actually I'll stop because I don't want to give away. It was still fun. Which was a very strange feeling because, like, for example, if I'm going to review the film, do I review it as how much I was entertained, or do I review it by actual critical, plot points and character development and all things like that, pacing. Because I feel like the scores are way too different.
Yeah, I mean, and that kind of brings up the whole point of um people being able to get different things out of something, and why like reviews scores are okay if you're looking at an average, right? But
Mm-hmm.
individual scores aren't necessarily like if you've got a critic, a website that you follow and they use a grading scheme, you're 100% right. What is that? What is the standard for that outlet, and what are
Yeah.
they grading on? And what you got to do is go into the yes, people, you actually have to read more than the headline or the SEO title that generates in Google and Twitter and stuff like that. That you have to read, because somebody might be grading it all technically, what the technical writing skills are based on accepted norms for good writing, what the technical cinematography skills are given the standard, expected cinematography from that genre. Like, all of that can go into a score, but God, there's so many movies that are garbage technically, but fucking amazing in entertainment. And the exact opposite. They're wonderfully put together, but they're boring as fuck. And you don't ever want to watch it again.
Yeah, I agree. You know which movie I feel that way about is No Country for Old Men.
Absolutely. And I hate to say it, it's a great intense movie, and it's awesome to see it one time.
Yeah, and because when it won the Oscar, I was a lot younger, obviously, and I remember being upset at how much I thought it sucked. So, actually, just a couple weeks ago, I gave it another shot, and I was like, "This is a beautifully shot movie."
Yeah,
it's still boring. But I get it, right? Some films are like that. And then there's some films that find this like little strange groove. What's the Oscar let me figure out what it is. But while I tell you that, and then sometimes critical. Well, I'll look for it. I'll let you know.
Okay.
While sometimes being critic reviews are kind of harsh because you don't know what the filmmaker has to work with, specifically with independent films. I'm not talking about Warner Brothers, Marvel Studios, who have all this time to develop it, to make it. Then a pandemic hits, then you have a year and you do nothing with it. But we already talked about that, how it kept getting pushed back, so you didn't necessarily have that. You didn't know that you had a year to fix things. But independent films, a lot of times when I'd end up talking with directors, they're like, they told us we had 3 weeks to film. They gave us 10 days at the last second. Or we ran out of money here because this and this happened. Mm-hmm. It rained. It did this happen. And independent films are stuck with such a small budget, and that they really have to make mountains out of molehills. Mm-hmm. and try their best to make the best quality film possible, not because that's how they wanted it, but that's what their budget allowed.
Yeah.
So I feel like some people, casual viewers, need to be a little bit nicer to independent films, because it's more about the message, the story, than sometimes the cinematography, the sets, because they only have so much they can do. Yeah. And sometimes I feel so bad it's just like there was one time it was like, yep, we had 1 week to shoot the entire thing. It's like, really? It's like, yes. Man. No, the film I was thinking is Nomadland. That film seems like if I described it to you, it seems like the most boring thing you watch, and it was shot beautifully, and then the actors did so well that it was I can see why it won. Frances McDormand, she's the one who played Fern, and just fantastic. We also watched Minari the other day, kind of in the same vein.
How was Minari?
Oh, Minari was fantastic, dude.
I haven't gotten
Steven Yeun, man. the entire cast. It was beautiful. I really enjoyed it. A lot of the films this year, and I'm not saying films in the past years haven't been, but very, very, very deserving films won for 2021. But yeah, I don't know. Then there's films like horror films, for example, never get a good critical score if you look at them.
No, not normally.
If they're like on a 10 scale, if they're at a 5 or 6, you consider that a huge win, right?
Yeah, it's pretty fucking good.
But I mean, what do you want? It's the genre. So I feel like
for everyone.
I feel like people, critics really, they should score it differently, because that, this is what is expected of this kind of film. It's not going to be the same as a drama.
Yeah, it's almost like food critics. So I'm a big foodie. And I loved watching when I had cable. Like, I can't wait for the Discovery Plus shit and HBO Max to mix so I can get my food shows back. But the whole the whole fuck, I lost my thought. We were on where was I going with the food aspect of it? Fuck,
I don't know. Maybe you just got hungry.
No, I had a point. Shit, because we were getting from
reviews,
reviews. There
horror,
we go. Got it. So food critics, listening to a high end food critic and hearing them say something like on a Cutthroat Kitchen or a Iron Chef episode where they have to use something that is an uncommon ingredient, and you hear these high-end chefs that are like, oh, I've never eaten a McDonald's burger, or I've never had beef jerky, like a food critic that had never had beef jerky, like in their life, right? And you look at them and you go, do you not understand why beef jerky exists, what makes it good, how many what kept you from it, the idea that it's dehydrated, or what is it, how good is it to get a point of view from a critic on a horror movie if they don't like horror, or if they only like thrillers, they don't like gore, they don't like supernatural stuff, they only want natural thriller type horror. That's why I say, yeah, sure, if you're on a budget and you're looking for a safer bet, you want to go with a Rotten Tomatoes average score, go for it. But honestly, you guys really want to get into movies and see why the good critics give the scores they do. You got to read their actual reviews. And more than just it's a fun ride plagued with, more than just the, what is it, the tagline or whatever. You got to kind of dig into it. I've written a lot of reviews for the site and done exhaustive Star Wars reviews in podcast form. And I can't think of a real review I've written that was less than 700 words, 800 words.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
reviews shouldn't be short. There's so much you need to cover.
Exactly, because I can rip something apart technically, but say how wonderfully fun it was to watch, and I can do the exact opposite. But when I grade the film, what I try to do is combine those two, and so I kind of average it out. If it was amazingly technical and kind of poor story, it's going to end up in that like C plus B minus range, because I appreciate a lot of technical stuff. If it's kind of flipped, it might be more of a C plus thing instead of a C minus or C plus B minus thing. And that's kind of how I approach it, and then I word it out.
Yeah, my thing also is, and I noticed this with some reviewers, is that they sometimes their scores are kind of plagued by their preference, which I get it. I mean, that's why you can do so. That's why you have so many reviews. You have a preference, but there's inconsistency sometimes. Like, they'll rate a certain movie an 8 or a 9,
Right.
and then another movie that is not even close, an 8 or a 9, but like blatantly obvious,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just kind of I'm like, well, then can I really trust you, because you seem to really like a specific type of movie, and then everything else you're just crapping all over, and I don't think you understand film. I think you just like watching certain movies, and then whatever
Yeah,
makes you happy, you're
which would be
gonna
fine
rate higher.
if you know how to make sure your audience knows that, understands it, like that. That's the key is
Yeah, and
you
then
got to be upfront with what it is that you're saying. Like, you just got to be clear, you know.
and then there's those other critics that just like to shit on everything, because that's what gets them clicks, right? And it's like, dude, you gotta respect the art, that sometimes it does not, like, for example, David Ayer, it's not his fault his movie came out so bad.
Yeah. Well,
Zack
I mean, that's to a degree that's true.
right.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder is not his fault that his movie got butchered,
Mm-hmm.
and at least we didn't get the decent film that he had made. I'm not saying it's a masterpiece.
Right.
I'm just saying it's way better than what was presented, and that's not his fault. And so it's just, there is just so many layers of possible things that could have happened or whatever, that I personally do not like necessarily bashing movies or books or anything too much. If I don't like it, hey, I didn't like it for these reasons. You might like it. You probably still
Yeah.
watch it.
I like how Fox, Troilo, and LRM Online's reviews usually say, if you enjoyed XYZ, you may enjoy this. Like,
That's a good gauge to say, like, okay, well, I didn't like those movies, so I'm probably not gonna like this either.
yeah.
But and if you do, you do, and that's the magic of films, that there's so many of them that you don't have to watch everything.
A thousand percent. You know, I look often at the things that people complain about, and I'm just like, you don't have to use that. You don't have to do that. You don't have to read that. And the other thing I can't stand is projection, dude. I cannot stand someone projecting their interpretation into reality, their perception. Like, yes, we understand that perception is reality for you. However, in a orderly and lawful world, intent matters a lot more than perception. Speaking of perception and kind of ratings, you can always go and look at a person's rating history on sites like Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic, or even the outlet that the particular critic works for. If the outlet's, got a half decent cataloging and search engine, and go in and look at what do they rate high. I don't have, the best type of list thing that I've sort of got is literally just my let's see here, my stupid anime list. But if someone were to look at it, they would see there's movie, all, what, half my top 10s are movies. Okay, so he's more into long movies versus shows. And then let's see, a Ghibli film, music based. Okay, so guy likes music, actiony shows, Akira, Dr. Stone, Ghost in the Shell, Neon Genesis Evangelion. You can easily tell the things that I'm into just by looking at my top 10. I like anime with music. I like anime movies a lot, and I like my stories shorter and not 100 plus, episodes with things like Full Metal Alchemist in GE and the first 2 seasons of Dr. Stone so far. And when you do that, then now you have an idea of what to expect from me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I think people put too much credit into just the tagline and just the score. And I almost feel bad because it almost makes it not worth writing an 800-word review. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
you and I are going to read it, but the masses probably aren't. And then so I know people notice this, and I'm sure there's review sites and reviewers that are shrinking down to 450 to 600 word reviews.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not good. You want to talk about, vanillaizing everything, making everything bland. That'll do it, because the studios are oh god, yeah. Please read.
Read and then formulate your own opinion too.
Yes.
Because
indeed.
you can always tell somebody reviewing a film, don't do it literally, just metaphorically and in your head, to fuck off because you enjoyed the film. At the end of the day, that's what matters. If you enjoyed it, then what everybody else thinks absolutely does not matter. But you also don't need to try and bash that into other people's head to believe what you did. If you really liked a movie and somebody else didn't, the other person's wrong. But just let it go. I have one of my best friends. Him and I sometimes rarely agree on movies, and it does. And just for sport, we do talk to each other, but at the end of the day, we're not changing each other's opinion. It's just for fun. I respect his opinion. He respects mine. We both think each other are idiots and don't know anything about movies. But I think that's what.
Sorry.
That's how unprofessional, Kyle. Jesus Christ.
Well, no, that was the Voltron theme.
It doesn't matter what it was.
That's definitely in our wheelhouse.
I am offended, Kyle. 100% offended. Enjoy movies, damn it. And if any, just screw what everybody else thinks. If you like it, like it.
Yeah.
And if you want to give a review a thumbs up, give it a thumbs up. And if you don't, then there's things that you can do, like click off of it. Go read a book. Or go watch another movie. Write your own review.
Like Simon Whistler says on his YouTube channels, if smash the dislike button. Go ahead. Let someone know you don't like the review. Let us know you don't like our show. Fuck, we would love to make a better one. If you don't like it.
Well, if you don't like our show, it's not like we're doing it for y'all anyway. We just like each other. I'm just kidding.
Oh man.
Yeah. So we're talking about how we're thanks to all the listeners, obviously, for listening to the show. But
absolutely,
when you gave me some of those numbers, I'm like, people listen to us?
Yeah.
We don't, like, our spouses don't even listen to us. Like, what? Our kids don't listen to us.
No.
What is this?
The dog does. The dog does.
Yes.
My dog.
We have a new dog who came on the property and decided, yes, I live here now. and he's so well trained, and we were like, if somebody comes and claims him, fine, take him. But he's been here now for over a week, and he's so well trained. He'll sit next to you. He'll watch the door. He'll if he's inside, he's not on any couches or nothing. He's so well trained. We're like, who lost his dog, and what did you guys do to hurt his feelings that now he lives here?
Excuse me. Wow. Yeah. That's always good to have well behaved pet. My cats are fucking vultures. They're rats. They're raccoons. My cats are trash pandas. You know what's not a trash panda? Sponsorships. Sponsorships don't steal from you. They give to you.
Weird segue.
No, look what I just did. I made it. I said they don't steal from you. They give to you. Perfect. That was glorious.
I
Just
don't
like
know.
this Scottish guy's accent that's going to read this wonderful ad from our sponsors over at Grow Generation.
Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. For all of your cultivation needs, Grow Generation has the right products, service and staff to make your grow successful. Go to www.growgeneration.com, where the pros go to grow.
Don't make fun of my segue. I can't make them all 10. Some of them have got to be 8.5s.
You gotta have some rainy days.
I gotta have some rainy days. Oh man. Tuesdays are supposed to have a wonderful segment called Tech Tuesday, and there's been this massive discussion the last 3 weeks over Windows 11, which was finally announced officially, and very buggy ways. They had issues with their digital presentation of it.
Well, that should tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah, exactly, right? And pretty much, if you were paying attention to any of the leaks, the leak build that was being shown all over YouTube. If you watched any of that stuff, nothing Microsoft said was really surprising, except for this one thing about TPM. And I want to bring this up because if you just Google Windows 11, you're going to look at a dozen articles about the trusted platform module. I forget what the M stands for. Module, yeah, trusted platform module. Anyways, this certain chip that reads things, it's supposed to help protect you from malware, and a lot of hardware has them. Motherboards have them. Not everyone knows that they do, and not every motherboard does. So you can check your manufacturer. And the bad thing is Windows own Can Your Computer Run Windows 11 wasn't even detecting things properly. So Windows basically right now, hang on, everyone. Don't freak out. Don't go and buy these TPM chips from scalpers. There are TPM chips that you can install into your computer and make it compatible. But the big thing is to relax and understand that Windows is now releasing a build of 11 for developers and people that are on the Windows, basically their test forum and shit like that. And a lot of these bugs and things will end up getting worked out. And what it really comes down to is that chip deals with hardware encryption. Okay, and in an age where last week Western Digital, one of the biggest hard drive manufacturers in the world, everyone's heard of Western Digital, and usually Seagate as the other. They had their internet connected external drives, the MyBook. They're like cloud storage, if you will. You can plug it like right into your router, and it'll stream your movies and music from that hard drive even. And people lost their data. It had some sort of weak point, and people were able to go in and basically send a factory reset message to the hard drive via the internet. And so encryption's a big thing. Protecting your data. You and I have talked about on-site at source, an on-site and an off-site backup. So your internal hard drive, an external hard drive, and cloud, and or an off-site storage. But what about your actual devices? And when it comes to these TPM chips, when it comes to it, there's a good article on digital trends. Just went up a few hours ago, discussing the requirement. Give it a few weeks, give it a few months. There's no rush. Windows 10 has got support through 2025 direct from Windows, and we always know things are phased down differently and that there's various levels of support. I mean, shit, you still have people successfully and safely running Windows X. It takes a lot of work, but you still have people doing it, running shit from like XP and 7. So yeah, relax about 11. It looks flashy, but it's not set in stone yet. And a lot of your computers, if they've been purchased in the last few years, even if you went on Microsoft's site and they said it wasn't Windows 11 ready, it might be. And it might be as easy as going to your manual and going into your BIOS and just clicking enable TPM. So don't freak out yet. Check with your manufacturers and give Windows, Microsoft a few weeks to work out their bugs. Something you think they would have already done, right?
But the thing is, like, nothing comes out that is
perfect,
well run, and
not anymore.
Nothing even ever is perfect.
No.
So
it just is not as buggy to notice it, or the bugs aren't that bad.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's just there's, if you're complaining that it's buggy or whatever, my thing is every other version of Windows is terrible.
Well, which one did you like? Any of them? Did you like XP? I know a lot of
XP was great.
Love X. I thought it was Windows for Dummies coming off of 98 SE, but whatever.
No, XP was great. Vista was horrible.
Vista was yeah, it had its issues. Although a lot of the like Aero Glass and like aesthetics did carry forward and were getting kind of back with 11.
And then 10's, I think 10's fine. I haven't really any issues.
Well,
and so
go ahead.
I will say that it took me a while to get into the whole idea of it being like, because I get it. We have to go to apps and all that other stuff and the aesthetics of it, especially because I have my laptop is a touchscreen, and it's so you can switch over from your classic Windows view to kind of that boxy thing, which makes me feel old because I'm like, what is this? I don't know how to use this. And but it's fine. And but if people complaining about bugs and stuff now, remember, all of your iPhones, when they come out, they're usually crap. Yeah. The software usually has a ton of bugs that do not get fixed with it. They need a couple of months to really get them on track, which is why I never buy an iPhone right off the conveyor belt, like first week or whatever. It's just, actually, I don't do anything that way, just because I don't want to be a cog in the system.
I always want to, like, I'm always like, one day I want to be well off enough that I can afford the time and effort for a day one release of a big budget item, like a Galaxy S28 or some shit, 6-7 years from now. But you're absolutely right. It's not so much just money that keeps me from doing it. It's just track history. Let's stick on this. I like this idea of things that are buggy that have always been released. Let's talk gaming with it, man. Look at all of your speedrun videos that take advantage of glitches in Super Nintendo and NES games. Those are bugs. Those are things that if you could patch the game today, you would patch it. Because you don't want people cheating, right? You don't want people taking advantage of broken things. That's not how you intended the game to be played. And so often studios will patch things like that. They'll patch glitches that you can take advantage of. And not necessarily like cheating competition-wise. Just, again, the game writers and creators have a certain story in mind, and they want you to play through that story. Now, mods and hacks and things like that are different. We're talking about just taking advantage of glitches and bugs. And so for decades, dude, cartridges could not be updated. You couldn't. Yeah, I mean, there were some flashes that you could do, and there have been downloads over cable lines and downloads over TV lines. I got that ladies and gentlemen, but we're talking just general market. Flash forward to the PS3, Xbox 360 era, and the era of consoles having hard drives. See, PC gamers have been dealing with getting patches for ever. Guys, we've been doing it since the 90s. We've been modding, downloading patches straight from studios, updates to our games, expansion packs, all of that since I was doing it since, like 94, 95.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that big of a deal because it was just that one sector, and because computer games could be installed and patched, you developed the best that you could, and then you could enhance. But you didn't see straight up broken games shipped. You know what I'm saying? Not often, right? Not often, especially not any big titles. But that Xbox 360 era, and now you've got installable games, which means you could patch them, and enhance them later, means to these people that want to sell as much as fast as possible to get to the next project, and then they can cut that development team down and be like, okay, go work on patch 1.1. I honestly blame that for the situation we're in today, where you buy a game that is 110 gigs, 50 stored on the fucking disk, download 60 of them, install that, 110 fucking gigs on your hard drive, and day one, there's an additional 10 gig patch. And I think it's all back to that laziness of let's ship it now, fix it later.
Yeah, well, they got to deal with a lot of bosses and stuff that don't appreciate that. Hell, have you seen Mythic Quest? That's the whole show.
I haven't. What is that?
Mythic Quest on Apple TV? Are you kidding me?
I don't watch Apple.
Well, you're missing out. Mythic Quest is, and Jammer will also tell you this. It's a really, really fun show. With Charlotte, Nick Dow, Rob, McElhenney, and just it's how do I describe it? It's the story of a team behind like one of the biggest multiplayer video games of all time, and so they're the video game developers, the designers, the testers, it's the entire company that makes this game, and it's about it's a comedy. It's their story on how video games get made, and all of the fights and all of the everything that happens in behind the scenes that you don't get to see pre-launch, post-launch. One time they launch an expansion, and they're waiting for the review of a certain Twitch streamer who's 12, because his opinion carries so much weight, that if he doesn't like it, then they're failures. And one of the last ones was they were two of the senior editors were fighting over whether or not to add a battle royale, and marketing says you have to add it, and then one of them says no, and the other one says yes, it's a great idea, and then there's like a manager who was like, hey, Montreal wants it now, and they're like, well, we're not ready. It's like, well, we have to go, and just stuff like that, that you keep talking about. I think you'd love it.
I have to check that out. I had no idea what it was. I saw an image where you could see like some fantasy stuff in a reflection of, I guess, the two of the main characters sitting at a table or something. And I was like, the Guild 2.0, like
it's a lot. It's so much fun, man. I think you'd love it just because of the fact that it's about what you talk about. And also, so back to your original point. Yeah. Like Call of Duty, fuck you guys for all your updates and for all of the space I need on my PlayStation just to run your stupid ass game. And then you have update after update after update after update, or add-ons that sometimes make the game very frustrating to play, especially if you're trying to play with the boys, multiplayer, things like that, because you have to continuously update. and then Cold War was not the success that it was, and people are still just playing Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Just
And stop naming games Modern Warfare. How many are there now? There's like 3 named Modern Warfare now, right?
I think
3
so,
with
yeah.
3 with separate stories, and then the original remake, if I'm not mistaken. Like, holy hell, what is with people entitling? Like, I got it. Branding is great, but holy shit, every brand started as a brand new name at some point. Like, it's like when somebody's like, oh, but this is tradition. Okay, I got it. That's good. At one point it wasn't. At one point it was brand fucking new, and someone had to keep it going. So
well, the thing is that I think they ran out of names, because there's Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they had to go back to. And then there's Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4. So your favorite kind of naming, by the way.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. They had Advanced Warfare.
that was stupid.
Yeah. And,
Ghosts. Well, there's one. They did Ghosts.
And maybe
and
that's
World War II was. I thought World War II was very, very well done.
Yeah, maybe that's what I got mixed up with was there's 2 Modern Warfares. There's the original Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, the remaster, which is, that's what it is, and then the 2019 one, and then Advanced Warfare was a title, and I think maybe I got that. Yeah, that was the 11th main installment from 2014. So there's been 2 different modern warfares, not counting the HD remaster. People, can we get away from numerical subtitles? Are you defending them, Manny? Like, legit? Like, does it not bug you at all?
No, not at all.
How?
It's
so lame. And I say that with fucking 4 Final Fantasy tattoos on my leg, which is nothing but numerical.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10. You know who does a good job with that? Speaking of which, and let's give them credit, is Legend of Zelda.
They do. They subtitled everything. There's only one Legend of Zelda 2, and that's Link's Adventure. Everything else is a subtitle. Even
I think Breath of the Wild is going to have a sequel, no?
Yeah, it is. It's got right now it's just called The Breath of the Wild. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel, I think, is its unofficial working title. But like Phantom Hourglass and the one with the Spirit Tracks, I think it's called, that are related to Wind Waker, I believe. Those are all connected, and none of them have a 2 or a 3 or an episode 1 or anything like that. Yeah, that's a really, really good point. Games actually are different than movies. I will say that. Numerical, legit, and not just the Final Fantasy thing. Legitimately, yeah, sure, it's easier. I like subtitles now, and
sounds like you're being biased, Kyle.
Well, no, just subtitles are more used now, and so I kind of like that better. I mean, look, I grew up 80s, 90s just like you, so everything was 2 and 3 and 4. Even if it had a subtitle, it would still have a fucking number. Like Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors.
So Ghostbusters 2 even had the ghost doing this.
Yep, it did. And I fucking love Ghostbusters 2, even though it's technically not real Ghostbusters. Anyway,
what do you mean it's not real Ghostbusters?
Because it's based more off the cartoon. It's more cartoony. It's not like the original. Not that it's bad. I fucking love it.
I just found
like the original.
I found it strange that their patches also on their shirts and on the building also had the 2. And I was like, wait a minute.
Sell stuff. To sell.
I like buying stuff, but
yes, but that's the whole thing. It was because. Why would you need an Ecto or a figure or a new patch or a shirt with the regular Ghostbusters logo on it. That's why it was changed.
It was 5 years.
What?
It was 5 years difference.
Okay, and
you still have the same shirt from 5 years ago?
No, yeah, actually, I have several shirts that are like 8-9 years old. Yeah, t-shirts that I still wear out and about. We use like good like soap, and I don't dry them.
It's good soap.
Take care of them. Nobody. It's so hard to find a graphic tee in the material that I don't like. I don't like huggy tight shirts, and I don't like the short sleeves that are like up here.
Okay.
With like half your arm. I don't like that. So when I find a shirt, I have to take care of it because I don't know if I'll ever find another one.
It's good. This could be the last shirt I ever wear.
This could be the last Star Wars shirt I ever buy.
You know what's funny? The shirts I take most care of are band tees.
Yes.
Because I'm like, I'm never going to this concert again. This exact concert I got this shirt at, I'm never getting it. So yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. So like I was saying, video games I can kind of get it, but I got used to subtitles, man. Like the late 90s, 2000s forward, outside of kids films, you stopped seeing as many numerical sequels and more subtitles. But like I said, even back in the day where numerical was all you needed, you still had subtitles, you know? Like I brought up Elm Street 3. I don't know. It just kind of seems lazy now. Like maybe it's the MCU effect, you know? I know they had Iron Man 2 and 3, but everything else had subtitles, you know? So hell, even some of their first time movies have subtitles. So do they?
Don't blame that on the MCU.
Yeah, Captain America, the First Avenger, was technically a subtitle. Just saying. Anyways, man. I mentioned yesterday after you were talking about some Studio Ghibli films that I would ask what Shinkai movie you should see, and everyone agreed you should watch Your Name.
Your Name.
Your Name. And you can absolutely watch it with your daughter. It's 100% family safe. And yeah, watch Your Name. That's what we decided on. The music is done by the band Radwimps, headed up by vocalist and primary writer Yojiro Noda. I think I pronounced it correct. Or Yojiro Noda. I might have had the wrong last vowel. But Radwimps do some really amazing music, and the animation is stunning. It is the story about a city boy and a rural girl that are able to basically swap places and kind of learn about the others' lives and the things that are actually important to them, and in a very fantastical setting and way. It's great. It really is. So yeah, we suggest that one to get you to take a step into contemporaries of Miyazaki and Ghibli. Oh, okay. So that would be our suggestion for that. And then man, what do we got coming up this week? I got this feeling to make a list, Manny, and we used to have this show on the LRM Podcast Network, the Genreverse Podcast Network, brought to you by LRMonline.com. Go check that for all your entertainment news and needs. LRM ranks it, and LRM's top 5, and I wondered, Manny, do you think maybe we should do that as a segment here on the Daily Cup of Genre? Like maybe start it, once every other week. We'll pick a topic ahead of time and fucking hammer out a top 3 or a top 5 and rank some shit. I mean, why not, right?
Yeah, why not? We
Why
have
the
enough time.
fuck not? Let's do the first one on Thursday live here
You're live.
on YouTube, guys. Hit that red subscribe button if you haven't, so that way you can catch the live show on Thursday, and maybe we'll announce the topic tomorrow. Yeah, we'll do that. So you guys listening on our whatever app or website you use to listen to podcasts, head over to YouTube. Log in with your Google account. You know you have one. We know you have one. And subscribe to the LRM's YouTube channel, where you can get access to all of the podcasts, video formats. You can get access to hundreds and hundreds of interviews from the last year alone, it seems. And of course, our website, like I said, LRMonline.com. A lot of really great stories. All your entertainment news, needs, and opinions are there, guys. And here's the great thing about it. We're not out there here to sell drama. We do have opinions.
I thought you were gonna say drugs.
No. And
Sorry.
we do have opinions, but you know what's really great about the writers and fucking the podcasters is we're pretty clear about what is an opinion and what is a fact, and we're also pretty clear about what is a rumor with validity, what is a leak with validity, and what is a rumor or leak that's only worth discussing because of the what if factor. Like, there's certain rumors that are so dumb, but the what if itself is worth like a talk. What if this did happen? What I'm getting at is we're reliable, guys. Don't believe me? Good. Go to the website, hit subscribe, listen for a few days, read for a few days. Let us know, what aren't we reliable on? What can we do to make your entertainment news more exciting and fun and not so fucking stressful? Because God, man, some of the drama sites, I can't imagine living that riled up all the time. Like, I got this character that I play, for entertainment, but I don't know if I could really be that angry all the time. Anyways, Manny, it's been a great conversation today. You guys out there that cannot see our social media stuff on the bottom of the screen, I'm at that Kyle Malone on Twitter. He's at LRM_Emmanuel on Twitter. Manny, what's the word on Forever Purge? Can we talk about that tomorrow? Awesome. What else you got going on this week?
I got a couple of interviews with father-daughter director actors duo for a kind of a sci-fi adventure. Let Us In. And then also either tomorrow or Thursday, I'm not sure yet exactly when I'm posting it, but I have Major Joshua Cabo Gunderson. He is one of the pilots for the F-22 Raptor demo team, who is featured in the Tomorrow War, who I'll be talking to this morning. And then I'll also have Everardo Gout, who is the director for the Forever Purge, and that's probably going to be dropped on Thursday.
Okay. Outstanding. So you guys definitely check out tomorrow Wednesday show for some talk about the Forever Purge. And then, like we said, please head over to YouTube, or if you're already there, hit subscribe and check us out live, as we're going to revitalize LRM's Ranks It. I don't know if it'll always be 5, so I'm just going to go with the old title for right now. Or we'll see. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, people of the world, because, yeah, we got a lot of fans in Russia. I don't know why, but thank you, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.